Hello, my fellow combatants. Spaceman Jew here, back at you with another video. So, on today's problem with Rubbish Combat 1, I'm going to talk about the meta, right? Now, before I talk about the meta specifically about Mortal Kombat 1, is I'm going to talk about the meta of other fighting games, right? So, let's talk about MK11, right? MK11's meta, or the meta of other fighting games, is pick the best character. And a lot of times, the best character in a fighting game has a high execution level. Has a high level ceiling, right? Especially to use them at their best, right? So let's say Fujin, right? MK11, he was the best character hands down. Now you can win games with this guy because he has some stupid stuff, but against a opponent that is competent and understands the game, you're either not going to win as easily or you won't win at all, right? That's the trade-off of having, the best character in the game, is that mostly they're always high execution, right? So let's look at Alien and MKX, somewhat of a high execution type character. And MK9, can't remember who was the best character, but that game was really kind of execution heavy in of itself, right? And so at other fighting games too, a lot of the best characters are in fact high execution. Poison is one of the best characters in Street Fighter V, right? And she's high execution. Geese in Tekken 7, one of the best characters in the game. And he could do some stuff, but to play him at the highest level, to win with him, your execution has to be A1, has to be flawless, right? So, but the meta in Mortal Kombat 1 is just pick the best cameo. You pick the best cameo. There is no player expression like everybody was saying. There is character variety for sure. We have the most character variety that we have ever had in any Mortal Kombat game, coming up until MK9, right? So, but this is what the meta is. Let's look at the meta. Now we can go to the different ranks. I haven't played against Chameleon, right? But me personally, I have reached God and Demigod, right? So let's just look. And I have gotten there, so I understand the meta. I have played in the meta, right? Now, obviously, this is a little off. I believe this is glitched or whatnot. Maybe the point system was different during the first season. I can't remember. But this season 2, I went on a terrible losing streak, bro. It was bad. It was real bad. As you can see, my win percentage has dropped off 2%. I went on a terrible losing streak. I ain't gonna hold you up. And this season, I haven't been playing that much. So now let's go look at the meta, right? Like I said, I haven't played with Chameleon, haven't played against Chameleon. I haven't even been playing this game outside of just booting the game up to talk to you guys about Warbish Combat 1. So here we can change the rank. Now in Elder God and God is where you're going to find the best players, right? These are the tournament level players, high level players, and the best players to play the game. And let's see what the meta is. We have Kung Lao, Striker, Kung Lao, Kano, Striker, Kung Lao, Striker, Kung Lao, Kano, Striker, Kung Lao, Striker, Kung Lao, Striker, Kung Lao, Kano, Kung Lao, Striker, Kano, Striker, Kung Lao, Striker, Kano, Striker, Kung Lao, Striker, Kano, Kung Lao, Kung Lao, Striker, Kano, Kung Lao, Striker, Kano, Kung Lao, Kung Lao, Kung Lao, Kano, Kung Lao, Kung Lao, Kung Lao, Kano. You see what I mean? This is the meta. The cameo system was completely introduced or implemented, not introduced, but implemented into this game half-assed, right? It is, because this is what you do. You just pick the best cameo, and the best cameos are Kung Lao, Kano, and Striker. Now, there's not necessarily a problem with them being the best cameos, but the problem is they're the best cameos, but they have a low execution bar. They're very simple, very easy to use, and that's the problem. That is what can hurt the meta, is when a character has a low execution level, but they're very strong. That is a problem. And it's a problem because in this game, these cameos are literally used for Unga Bunga. Kano, Kung Lao, and Striker, you literally can play, there's no neutral when you play with these characters, right? Kung Lao, you throw the low hat, and let's say you play with Liu Kang. You throw the low hat, and then you could do the dragon kick. The dragon kick has historically been an unsafe move, but in this game, it's safe because of Kung Lao. Same thing with Kano. You're playing with Johnny Cage, and you do his shadow uppercut. That move has been historically unsafe in a lot of Mortal Kombat games. In this game, Kano makes it safe. If it's for Unga Bunga play, the meta is Unga Bunga. The meta isn't footsies or neutral, which has been a staple of almost every single fighting game, including Mortal Kombat. But in this one, it's just Unga Bunga. I don't care about neutral. I'm just going to call my assist. And a lot of people, what first thing they do? The first thing the match start, call the assist. That's the first thing they do. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, if there was no assist in this game, the people who rely so heavily on this would lose all the time. They would lose because this is it. You're depending, the meta is just a cameo, and you're depending on the cameo. And there's no variety to the cameos. You guys seen the top 100 best players are all using Kung Lao, Kano, and Striker. Why? Because Striker's grenades allow for you to the same thing that Kung Lao does, the same thing that Kano does, allow for Unga Bunga play, allow for you to do unsafe moves and make them safe because of the cameos. How many Sujinkos did we see? Sujinko is a high execution cameo. How many of those did we see? How many sectors? Did we even see Frost? Did we? Did we see Frost? This guy doesn't even exist in the game. Who is this person? I don't even know who this guy is anymore. Like he doesn't exist in this game. Period. This guy, I don't know his name. I don't even know why he's in the game. He doesn't exist. Like literally, this is a wasted character slot. You didn't even see his name once. Like I said, I don't even know who this person is anymore. Like they made that one change, and this character doesn't exist. This cameo doesn't exist in this game anymore. It's ridiculous. And this is the meta. The meta is Kano, Kung Lao, and Striker. Now, there's not necessarily, like I said, it's not necessarily a problem with it per se, because people are going to pick the best things, period, because they want to win. But this is making the meta toxic. This is making the game toxic. It really, really is. It really, truly is. What I believe that they should do to change the cameo system, instead of just making all the tag assists, making them have all their different assists, what you should do before you start the match, it should be just like Marvel vs. Capcom series. You should pick the assists, right? So let's say you have striker grenades, then you have the striker high and low nightstick. That should be just one assist, you know what I'm saying? Then you just direct it with maybe some directional buttons or something like that. Maybe you hold R1 or tap R1 for the high and low or something like that. And then he has the handcuffs. That should be 3 separate assists. It shouldn't just be one thing. So it's before the start of the match, you pick the assist. So you want the striker grenade. So you pick the striker grenades. That's all you have for the entire match. You don't have his handcuffs, and you don't have the high-low nightstick, right? with Kung Lao. Kung Lao has the teleport, he has the low hat, and he has his spin, right? So before the match, you should, let's say you pick the spin. All you should get is the spin. That's it. You shouldn't get nothing else for the rest of the match. Then when you go back to the character select screen, when you select it again. Same thing with Kano. It should be like that for all of these. That, in my opinion, that's the only change that I could think of that would make the cameo system a lot better and more balanced. But how it is right now, it's completely all over the place. It's completely half-assed, and it's too focused. The gameplay is too focused around the cameos. Like, I mean, come on, for Christ's sakes, they're in a goddamn win pose and losing pose and stuff like that. For fucking what? They're in the intros. Why? The cameos are too integrated into the game. If they're going to be disintegrated into the game, it should have been a fucking tag game. There should have been a tag fighter. Period. Period. So the meta is hurting. That's one of the problems, if not the biggest problem, is the meta. And the meta is Kung Lao, Striker, and Kano. It is so repetitive, it is so irritating, it is so toxic. Like, even if you know how to get around these characters and them cameos, it is so toxic, and it's just draining. It's not fun. It's like you see this and you're like, I gotta deal with some bullshit. I gotta deal with high-low mix-up when it comes with Kung Lao. I gotta deal with constant, stupid unga-bunga pressure when it comes to Striker. And honestly, Kano is, in my opinion, probably the most balanced, right? He's the least worrisome to deal with out of the three. But you just know what to expect and you see it, and it's like a, all right, you know? And it's toxic. It is draining. It is demoralizing. It's more demoralizing than playing, you know, let's say you're a tournament level player and you have to play Dragon, right? This Dragon Citron was ridiculous. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed this little topic. So comment on this video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified for when I do upload new videos. And as always, most importantly, peace.